Oh, there we go. So, sorry about that. We had a bit of technical difficulties, so we'll go back through the pregame show here. It's Saturday afternoon hockey here on Cougar Puck Radio as the first place Cougars travel to Griffs Ice House at Belknap Park to play the Rockford Rams in a battle for OK Rue supremacy. Hello and welcome. My name is Reagan Cleves alongside statistician David Shamblin. We will bring you all the action for this edition of Cougar Puck Radio. If you have missed any of the action this season, be sure to catch up with Cougars Rewind, and you can find those in the highlights playlist on our YouTube page. Now let's take a look ahead at tonight's matchup between the Cougars and the Rams. The Cougars enter into tonight with a record of 12-8-1 and are coming off a 4-0 win in Mona Shores on the strength of two Jake Onstott goals. The Cougars sit at the top spot in the OK Rule, while the Rams occupy second place and so far have posted a record of 14-6-1. The only loss they have suffered in conference came against the Cougars as they lost 5-4 all the way back on the opening night of the campaign for both teams. Players to watch tonight for the Cougars: Danny Nelson, who has 17 goals and 17 assists on the year, giving him 34 points on the season. And for the Rams, listen for Kevin Haley, who has 23 goals and 24 assists, tallying up to 47 points on the campaign. When we come back, we'll bring you all the starting lineups for both teams and the national anthem, and then all the action of the first period. You're listening to Catholic Central Cougar Hockey on Cougar Puck Radio. And now we'll take a look at the starting lineups for the Cougars. They send out Ben Clay, Kevin Patterson, Jake Gonstadt, Hogan Weirda, Case Balk, and in net, Ryan McClelland. Ryan McClelland this year has compiled a record of 11-5 with a save percentage of .879 and a goals against average of 2.57. Now we take a look at the Rockford Rams. The Rams will send out Ethan McCormick, Brendan Bach, Michael Bedford, Aiden Hoffman, and Hunter Dakin. And in between the pipes tonight for the Rams, it'll be Zach Sherman, who has a record of 12-6, 83 save percentage. One notable scratch for the Cougars. Gabe Silva is out for the rest of the season with a broken collarbone. So, Cougars will go up and down your radio dials. We have an odd situation here. We're right at ice level. To the right of Ryan McClellan in the corner, but 17 minutes on the clock and we are underway, Rockford. Now here's number 14, a shot just wide. That was Brendan Bach. Now Bach, centering pass, is shot, saved by McClelland. Hunter Dakin getting the shot there. So the draw with 16:46 remaining here in the first period of play. Cougars and Rams tied at 0. This is a big game for both sides as the Cougars virtually can hold up or can clinch the conference championship tonight if they do so win. Now the draw won by Rockford and they'll put that down behind. That'll be Kevin Haley. Cougars pick that off, dump it down the ice. That will go far enough for icing with 16:35 remaining here. First period of play. Draw will come to the left of Ryan McClelland. Here it'll be Danny Nelson in for the draw with Baumgartner. Danny Nelson wins that. He'll backhand that to the right wing circle. Holloman can't move that out. It's a big hit right in front of the Cougars bench. That was Aiden Hoffman who went almost spilling into the bench. Now at center ice, the Rams have that. They'll dump that in. No icing there. Cougars back to control it down low. That'll be Danny Nelson. Moves it up to Holloman. Holloman will chip that out to center, but the Rams regain control. That'll be Baumgartner. Baumgartner can't get past the defense, so he dumps it in. That'll be Hogan Weirda. Tied up by Baumgartner as a Nelson clearing attempt goes off of Baumgartner and out of play with 15:53 remaining here in the first period of play. Cougars and Rams tied at 0. Draw to the right of McClellan in the left wing circle. Actually, right in front of me, it'll be Schwerking and McCormick in for the draw. Delayed whistle as... Not sure. The Rockford mouthguard came out onto the ice, and so it'll be Schwerking and McCormick. Schwerking wins that, but that's Christensen puts it behind for Rollins. Rollins, nice pass to Rubline, but Grabowski handles that. It'll be Rubline, can't control. Schwerking, that pops right out into the slot. A spin around shot, weak, and now the Cougars come up. They'll dump that in behind Sherman. 15:30 remaining here in the first period. Tied at 0. Off the high glass, kept in at the point. Now a centering pass picked off by the Rams, and they're up the other way. They'll dump that down. That will be no call for icing as Golombeski picks it up. He's motoring up ice. He'll reach the red line, dump it in. So no icing. In the right wing corner, that's Smith. Smith battles for it, but loses the puck. Cougars tripped up, no call. Forthcoming. They still battle for it, but the Rams come up with that. Almost hit the ref. That will be Hunter Dakin to play it, but it's taken away from him, and that will be Dalke. In the corner, they control. Battle for it along the far half wall. 14:30 remaining here in the first period of play. 0-0. As that'll move up to the point. Weirda walks it down, backhands a shot on goal. That's collected by Sherman. with 14:23 remaining. Cougars and Rams in this very important game for both clubs. Rams coming down your radio dial in their white home uniforms with orange pants, and their jerseys have black and orange trim. It will be Nelson in for the draw to the right of Sherman, won by the Rams. That will be Hoffman. Hoffman in the corner, 2-on-2 battle for it there. That pops out into the slot, but the Cougars intercept a pass up at the point. Weirder puts that down. That looks to be Onstadt. Moves that down behind Sherman. Cougars controlled down low. Clearing attempt picked off by the Rams, and they're motoring up ice. That's Haley. Haley at neutral ice, cross ice pass as Rams will regroup at center. 13:50 remaining here in the first period of play. As that pass is tipped up, Cougars regain in their own end. Golombeski will chip that out, but the Rams put that back in, and that's intercepted. Here's Nelson. Nelson down the left wing, a shot wide. That popped out to the near side. Cougars, now a spin around shot. Sherman collects that with 13:28 remaining here in the first period of play. Cougars and Rams tied at 0. Draw will come to the left of Sherman in the right wing circle. It'll be Sam Schwerking, one of the captains for the Cougars, in for the draw. He wins that, holds control. He wraps that around. Cougars in the corner. Penalty forthcoming on the Rams. McClellan to the bench. Up at the point. Nelson. A shot gobbled up by Sherman with 13:14 remaining here in the first period of play. Cougars will go on the power play. First power play of the evening. Call is hooking on number 15, Dayton Parad. 2 minutes. This will give the Cougars an opportunity here. It'll be Onstadt and Switzer in for the draw to the right of Sherman. Won by the Cougars up at the point. Weirda puts that down, controls once more. Hogan Weirda, a long shot, goes up and out of play. Draw will stay in the Rockford zone. This time it'll stay to the right of Sherman. It'll be Onstadt and Switzer once more. Won by the Cougars up at the point. Weirda backhands that down into the corner behind the net. Cougars control. Moves up to the point. Here to Rollins. Rollins back to Onstadt, up to Rollins. Rollins to Onstadt. Onstadt walks in, a centering attempt as Sherman's hit up high by one of his own teammates. So up at the point, Rollins, a shot. That was Weirda who had that shot, and it's gobbled up by Sherman with 12:35 remaining here in the first period of play. 1:26 remaining on the Parade penalty. It'll be Onstadt in for the draw. Draw once more comes to the right of Sherman. This time it's won by the Rams. Up to the point. Cougars control, however. Down to Onstadt. Onstadt fires a shot that came out in front, and that will ricochet up to the near circle. Up to the point. Weirda will shovel that down. Missed his intended target, Golombeski, but Balk behind the play. Now the Cougars gain control. Onstadt. Onstadt centering attempt picked off by the Rams. 58 seconds remaining here on the power play, and the Rams cutting up ice short-handed. That was Kevin Haley, but he had the puck poked away, and now Weirda cross ice pass to Onstadt. Onstadt has the puck poked away. Here's Haley. Haley, big defensive play by Weirda to come back off that interception. Haley had an amazing opportunity to get his 24th goal of the campaign there. Now Cougars behind the net in their offensive zone. Moving up your radio dial here. 11:36 remaining. 22 on the power play. Now a chance from the side of the net, covered up by Sherman. With 11:32 remaining. 19 on the Penalty to Parod. It'll be Schwerking in for the draw for the Cougars to the right of Sherman. Won by the Rams. They'll wrap that down. Kept in at the near point. Good play there, but the Rams steal that. They'll try to move that out to center. Here's Rubline. Rubline will chip that in all the way down. Rams return to full strength, but the Cougars control, still having possession after the power play. Now behind the net, the Rams control. They'll clear that off the boards. That looks to go far enough for icing, and it is, with 10:59 remaining here in the first period. Cougars and Rams tied at 0. Last time these two teams met in this building was a nail-biter of a game, but the Cougars ended up coming out on top off of a late overtime goal to give them the win. Off the draw to the right of Sherman, Golombeski. Fans on the shot. Now another wrister turned aside by Sherman. And the Rams control off the boards. They'll dump that in. That'll come to the right wing circle. It looks to be Stevens. Stevens off the end wall. Bulk crunches his man, but that's Golombeski. Alec Golombeski. Pass picked off at center by the Rams. Golombeski gets it once more, dumps it in. No icing there. To the far half wall. Comes out to neutral ice with the Rams. McCormick has the puck stolen from him, and the Cougars will dump that in, but the Rams pick it off once more. Puck hit the linesman, and the Cougars control and dump that into the right wing circle. That will be Jones back to play it. Takes down his man, as now the Cougars pick off the pass. 10 minutes remaining here in the first period of play. Tied at 0. Now the Cougars battle for it. Ram taken down. Crowd across the way did not like the call. Now the Cougars up at center. Now near side. Couldn't be controlled. That looks... they battle for that there. Up to the point. A long wrister blocked in front. Rams might have an opportunity here. 2 on 2. 2 on 2. McCormick can't get around his man, but Bachman puts it on McClellan, and he'll cover with 9:30 remaining here in the first period of play. Cougars and Rams tied at 0. Draw will come to the right of McClellan. It'll be Sam Schwerking to go in for the draw with Baumgartner. Baumgartner had a couple of key goals in that matchup earlier this season. Here's Schwerking motoring up ice. He's now into the right wing circle. A shot deflects way up into the netting with 9:19 remaining here in the first period of play. Cougars and Rams tied at 0. Draw will come, I believe, to the right of Sherman. Excuse me, to the left. That'll be Onstadt in for the draw with his counterpart, Kevin Haley. Won by the Rams, and they'll wait for that around, but kept in at the point. They'll feed that down low. That is Golombeski. Golombeski crunched to the half wall, and now the Rams move up ice the other way. Here is Christian. Christian takes down his man. That is Dakin. But the Cougars control. But they have that taken away here. Switcher down the left wing. He cuts in on McClellan. Poke check there. Good plays. Rubline taken to the boards behind the net. But here is Schwant. Schwant moves the puck down behind. Here's Captain Onstadt taken down. No call. And the Cougars move out. Balk fails to keep it in, and that will go for icing with 8:31 remaining here in the first period of play. Scoreless thus far. Cougars and Rams. Cougars going up your radio dial. Here's we have an odd broadcasting situation. We are to the right of McClellan in the corner, so it's a bit hard to see the things on the other end. Draw one by the Cougars. That's Nelson. Nelson will chip that out. At center, the Rams control. That is Dolke. The Rams in their own end. Control 14 remaining. That will go all the way down for icing as the Rams clear that from the center. 8:11 remaining here in the first period of play. No score. Draw off that icing. Will go to the left wing circle to the right of Sherman. It'll be Onstadt in for the draw. Baumgartner called out of the circle. So, draw one by the Rams. That is Sokol. Now the Cougars steal that. A shot rifled high. And here's Weirda. Moves that down low. In the corner, along the end boards, the Cougars battle for it there. They come out with the puck alive. Now a sharp angle shot turned aside by Sherman. The Rams pick it up. They'll chip that down. Weirda can't control. And so the Rams take it over. At center, that is Haley. Haley. Good defensive play there by Grabowski, but Baumgartner has it. Baumgartner fanned on the shot in a high slot, and McClellan covers with 7:31 remaining here in the first period of play. Cougars and Rams scoreless thus far. Shots on goal. Cougars only one. Cougars have 4 shots on goal tonight to the Rams 1. Faceoffs. Cougars just have a slight edge with 8 to the Rams 7. Now draw to the right of McClelland. Won by the Cougars. Here's Schwerking. Now a one-timer from the point. That big save is now the rebound that laid in front. And now that'll come to the near side. That'll be Byrne. Galen Byrne moves it up. Kept in, but he regains control. Taken by McCormick. He'll dump that down. No icing as he was past the red line. Here's Rubline. Rubline moves it up. That was Rollins. Chips it out to center with the Rams control. 7 minutes remaining here. 10 minutes gone. Here's Sparrow in his own zone. Stretch pass to Christian. Rams move up ice. Taken by Bach. Bach behind the net. Takes his man down. But they still battle for it there. It's Golombeski and Bach. It'll come to the near side where Schwerking controls. He's busting up ice. Through neutral zone. Big hit by Ethan McCormick right in front of the Rams bench. That's sure to get them riled up here as now they move up ice. Here's Bach. Loses the puck, but they control it. A sharp angle shot that floated up. That shot came courtesy of Switzer. Now, Cougar taken down, and we might have coincidentals here. Holding on the Cougars. Not sure how that is not on Schellmeyer, but anyway. So it'll be Benjamin Clay to go off. 2 minutes for holding. Rams go on their first power play of the evening. It'll be Onstadt and Switzer in for the draw to the right of McClellan. Off the tie-up, the Cougars control. Bulk spin around clearing attempt. Kept in. Now at the point. That'll move out. That looks to be Hoffman. Hoffman controls in his own zone. Here's the announcement on the penalty. Now they're moving up ice. Here's Haley. Haley in on McClellan. A shot that flooded up. Haley again controls on the rebound. He's moving up to the point. Leaves it there for Hoffman. Down low to Baumgartner. But pass intercepted, and the Cougars will dump that all the way down. 5:40 remaining here. 1:25 on the penalty to Benjamin Clay. Cougars and Rams scoreless so far. Now busting up ice. Pass picked off by the Cougars offsides as Haley brought the puck in offsides. 5:28 remaining. 1:14 remaining in the Rams power play off that holding call on Ben Clay. So it'll be Jake Onstadt in for the draw at neutral ice. On the near side, won by the Rams. They control at center. 1:10 remaining on the power play. They retreat into their own zone. That'll be Bach. Bach off the boards. Here's a sharp angle shot that laid in the crease. Oh my goodness. Close call there. That shot came courtesy of Christian. Is now the Cougars at center. Onside play. Guarded by Christian. Now right in front. Big save. Another missed opportunity there for the Cougars shorthanded. As now the Rams busting up ice. Here's McCormick. Leaves it for his defensive partner. Now a stretch pass to Bach. Bach has the puck knocked away. Golembeski will move behind the net. Rubline taken down as now near side McCormick. McCormick holds down low. Gives it over to Schwann. Schwann up to McCormick. He's right at the top of the circle. Moves it down to Schwann. Schwann in the corner. Moves it up to the point. There's Bach. Bach a long wrister shot. Tipped off the deflection. Big save there by McClellan. Is now in the corner. Schwann moves that up to Bach. Bach will backhand that down to Schwann. Schwann a centering pass off the backhand. Cougars control and dump that all the way down as the power play has expired. 4:12 remaining here in the first period of play. Cougars and Rams tied at 0. Now Weirda has it. He'll backhand that in. Cougars can't get to that, so the Rams take over. Up to the point to Weirda. Weirda, a long shot right into the paraphernalia of Sherman with 3:57 remaining here in the first period of play. Cougars and Rams tied at 0 here in Griffs Ice House at Belknap Park. Draw to the right of Sherman off the tie-up. Won by the Cougars. They chip that out. Ram taken down, wanting a call, but none forthcoming as Golembeski puts that behind where Bedford will play it. They have that on the far half wall. That stands Sokol. They put that behind up to the near point. Here's Haley. This is all in the defensive zone as the Rams move up ice. Here is Sokol. Sokol a shot well wide into the corner. Weirda pressured by Sokol. Almost taken off his skates is Stevens up to the point. Here's Hoffman. Hoffman a long wrister just wide. Now it laid behind the net and that'll come to the near side. Rollins a spin around clearing attempt works. And Hoffman will control at center. Gives across to his defensive partner. A long wrister in. Well wide and Stevens. Pass almost picked off, but the Cougars control at center, but that's taken over by the Rams. Weirda in his own zone, 2:55 remaining. We'll dump that off the boards. No icing there as Cody Smith is back to play it. In the left wing corner, they battle for it there. 2:45 remaining. Now they move that up. That is Schwann. Tommy Schwann. Long stretch pass picked off at the point. That's Holloman. Holloman, a wrister in blocked. Here's Nelson. Nelson leaves it there. They battle for that in the corner up to the point. Nice shot. Long wrister across the ice. Blocked, and they'll have that behind the net to the Rams. 2:17 remaining. Up at the point, a long wrister. That found its way into the gut of Sherman. So with 2:12 remaining here in a scoreless tie, Rams and Cougars in this battle for the top spot in the OK Rue. If the Cougars do win tonight, they'll virtually seal it up as they have a pretty light schedule, the bottom of the barrel, so to speak, as they will play host to both Reese Puffer and West Ottawa later this week, excuse me. Now, the Rams control at center, a long cross-ice pass taken by Bach. Bach will dump that in. Icing will be the call. 1:56 remaining here in the first period. Draw off that icing will come to the left, to the right of Sherman, left wing circle. It'll be Danny Nelson in for the draw for the Cougars. But the Rams control. Cougars take over. Now a chip pass out. Here come the Rams the other way. Motoring up ice. Christian taken down, so Golembeski will gain control. Good back check there by Christian as he came back across the... Now Christian in the circle. A backhander just wide. And now Onstadt will chip that out, but it's kept in by Ethan McCormick at the point. McCormick walks into the near circle. Taken over by Bulk. Now a one-timer from the point. That deflected wide. Now a centering pass. That popped up right in the air. Nelson will backhand that to Weirda. Weirda along the half wall will dump that out. Icing will be the call with 1:10 remaining. No, it's waved off. So they battle along the far half wall. McCormick in his own end to play it. 1 minute remaining here in the first period of play between the Rockford Rams and the Catholic Central Cougars. McCormick will dump that into the near circle right in front of me here. That will be Rollins' Rubline to pin it against the boards. Pass picked off. And now a wrister deflected, and McClellan will glove that down. 44.5 remaining here in the first period. Cougars and Rams in a scoreless tie. Through the majority of the first period, it will be Grabowski in for the draw with Cade Baumgartner. Off the tie-up, Cougars Rubline controls right in front of me off the high glass. Kept in at the point, though. Battle forward right along the line with 34 remaining. That'll pop out. Here is Haley. Haley working in on goal. Worked over by Rubline. That is now right behind a centering attempt into the slot, and the Cougars will chip that out. In his own end to retrieve it, it will be Bedford with 17 remaining. We'll clear that down the ice. Icing is not called. Weirdo off the half wall to Clay. He's worked over, and Haley almost had an opportunity in the slot, but Nelson beats him to the puck, and they battle for it there. Baumgartner taking the boards, and that will do it here for the first period of play as the Catholic Central Cougars and Rockford Rams are tied after one. When we come back, we'll recap all the action in the first intermission report, and we'll take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard. You're listening to the Catholic Central Cougar Hockey on Cougar Puck Radio. we bring you back here inside Griffs Ice House at Belknap Park, where after one period of play, the Cougars and Rams are tied at 0. Scoreless first period. And shots on goal favor the Cougars by a tally of 7-6. Face-offs, Cougars taking 12, while the Rockford Rams won 10. Power play summary, Catholic Central and Rockford both 0 for 1 on the night. Two penalties thus far. In the first, it was Parad who went off for hooking, and then a little bit later, Clay went off for the Cougars for holding. Now we'll take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard. First, a look at the Detroit Red Wings. They lost today by a score of 6-5 against the Philadelphia Flyers. High scoring affair. 3 stars in that one. Nolan Patrick for the Flyers. Anthony Mantha and Travis Konechny finishing out the top 3. Now, Griffins will play later tonight against the San Antonio Rampage. After listening to our broadcast, you can hop over to Wood Radio 1300 1069 FM to listen to that one, as Bob Kaiser will bring you all the action as the Griffins take on Jared Coro and the San Antonio Rampage. Now we'll take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard in the OK Rue. Reefs Puffer today tied Manistee 0-0, while West Ottawa defeated East Kentwood by a score of 7-3. Other games going on, Granville and Mona Shores faced off at 3. No score available on that one. And then, of course, this game where we are tied at 0 after 1. When we come back, once the two teams get on the ice, we'll bring you all the action in the second period. You're listening to Cougars Hockey on Cougar Puck Radio. Welcome back to Radio Ringside here inside Griffs Ice House at Belknap Park, where the Cougars and Rams after one are tied at 0. Zach Sherman right next to me in net for the Rams, while Ryan McClellan on the opposite end is in net for the Cougars. 17 minutes on the clock here. Cougars coming down your radio dial here in blue uniforms, while the Rockford Rams will go up in white. The Cougars win the draw and they're in. They'll wrap that around behind Sherman all the way to the far side. Crunching hit by Bulk on Schwann. Now they'll dump that in. They'll clear that out to center where Dakin has it. Dakin will chip that in on McClellan, who will hold for a whistle. With 16:40 remaining here. As I mentioned earlier, it's Rockford's senior night here, and they have an astounding 16 seniors, as that pales in comparison to the Cougars' 7. Now the Cougars will move that out to center. They're in across the line. A shot blocked by Dakin, is shot blockered away. They'll move that out. Kept in at the point, though, is a tip shot on goal. Ben Clay gets to it. He'll backhand that. Onstadt can't control his puck, is taken away from him by Switzer, and he'll move that out. Can't be kept in at the point as Schwann racing for the puck against Bulk. He'll get to it. He'll come in right on McClellan. A shot that just went wide. Now Switzer at the point. He's upended. There is a shot that went high and wide, and that'll go to the far side. 15:56 remaining here in the first period of play. Excuse me. As at the point, Cougars will move that out. He's hurt. Cougar is hurt down along the half wall in the left wing after he delivered a hit. Got the worst of it, however. Let you know as soon as I can see his number who that is. Either way, with 15:41. That was Case Bulk, who was the injured Cougar on that play. Now the draw at neutral ice, won by the Cougars. They'll control all the way back in the Ram zone. A backhand shot, and that is taken by McCormick, who's belted by Holloman. My goodness, what a hit there, as the Cougars now behind their own net. We'll move that up 2-on-3. Pass picked off by Christian, and they go to the half wall across the way. Up at the point, a slap shot that went right across the ground, and it's intercepted. Now they move up. McCormick has the puck picked off, and they'll move that up the wing. Here's Alex Jones, pressured by the Cougars. Here's Holloman, in shot saved off the blockers that popped out right into the slot. McCormick tries a nifty backhand pass, and it goes to Bach. He has the puck poked away at center. Good play there. They move that down. That is Stan Sokol. He moves up the wing. Taken down. And the Cougars control. A pass up. Here's Bulk. Bulk down the left wing. Pulls up a shot. Rifled wide. Now a centering attempt. That laid at the side of the net. And Sherman will cover with 14:22 remaining here in the second period of play. It'll be Jake Onstadt in for the draw with Cade Baumgartner right in front of me, the right of Sherman. Won by the Rams. That will be Aiden Hoffman. Moves up the wing to Kevin Haley. Haley motoring up ice. Walks into the zone. He tries to move around behind McClellan and does so successfully. Now a shot right in front. That will ricochet up to the point. Here's Hoffman. Hoffman taking off the puck, and the Cougars intercept the pass at center. They'll dump that in. Once they cross the red line, it'll be Onstadt near side. Onstadt belted from behind by Bach. And they battle for it. Baumgartner moves that out. And the Cougars control at center. Pass picked off. And that'll go back. Here's Bedford. Bedford has a shot intercepted by Stevens. He'll move that up the wing. Cougars here, they're coming 3-on-1. A shot right along the ice, and that's turned aside. Now a centering pass right into the slot. He's outside the post with that shot from the near circle. Oh my goodness, it was that close from being 1-0, but the post said no, and it remains a scoreless tie. My goodness, that would have been pretty. As Balk moved centered a pass to Onstadt, and he shot it, and it just hit the post. Oh my goodness. Now along the far side, they'll control behind the net to the Rams. Belted is Switzer. Now here is Parad. Parad moves up ice. He'll dump that down. Icing will be the call with 13 minutes even here in the second period of play. Scoreless tie so far. Cougars and Rams in a battle for the top spot in the OK Rue division. It will be Switzer in for the draw with Sam Schwerking. Won by Switzer. They'll move that off the boards. Kept in at the point, though, is the Cougars. A shot by Weirda. That was blocked, and the Cougars control and dump that in. Schwant gives to Dakin, but the Cougars move in. Schwerking will dump that behind. That will be picked up by Rollins. A centering attempt taken by the Cougars. Sparrow along the near side for the Rams. Kept in at the point. Here's Schwerking. A backhand pass poked away in the slot, and that'll go to the near side half wall. Behind the net, that will be Dayton Parad. Up to the point. Cougars intercept that at center and will retreat into their own zone. 12-17 remaining here in the second period as the cross-ice pass couldn't catch Onstadt as they move that down behind. That looks to be Switzer. Switzer picked off, and the Cougars have an opportunity right out in front to save the rebound. That looks to be under Sherman as he keeps the game scoreless here. Is a great opportunity as that was a scramble in front. Nelson, Holloman, and Grabowski converging on the opportunity with 12 minutes remaining here. Draw will come to the left of Sherman. It will be McCormick and Nelson. Won by McCormick, but the Cougars intercept right in front. A spin around shot denied by Sherman, and the Rams will move up ice. That's Bach. Taken by the Cougars, and that will go up into the netting of a clearing attempt with 11:48 remaining here in the second period of play. Both goaltenders doing a fantastic job keeping the doors shut. And thus we have a 0-0 score. At center, it'll be McCormick to win the draw for the Rams. And he controls on the near side. Right in front of the Cougars bench at the line. They battle for it at neutral ice. Bach looks to jam that in, but is unsuccessful as the Cougars move that out to center. Pass picked off by Jones. At center, that is Christian. Far corner, McCormick goes to work with Golembeski. Now he tries to move right in front. Scoreless tie. 11:15 remaining. Now right in front at the top of the slot. A shot fanned on by Sokol, and they'll move that down behind the net. Taken over by the Cougars, and they'll move up ice. Off the boards, here's Byrne. Byrne, centering pass. That's Grabowski. Grabowski right in front of me here. He tries the wraparound attempt on Sherman. Two Rams collide. Grabowski holds there, gives it off to Clay, who's knocked down, but the Cougars again regain control. The Rams, Jones will move that up, kept in at the point by Stevens. Stevens jams at it. Here's Bach, 2-on-1. Bach down the right wing, cuts in on goal as we might have a penalty shot coming. Hooking is the call. No penalty shot. 10:46 remaining here in the second period of play. Cougars and Rams scoreless so far. That looks to be Ben Clay, who's going to the box right next to the Cougars bench area. As draw off that penalty will come to the left of McClelland. In the right wing circle, it'll be Cade Baumgartner in for the draw, but the Cougars Onstadt wins that, and they'll rifle that out to neutral ice. Here is Haley. Haley gives to Bach, who returns to Haley up the near side. He cuts into the circle. Tries the wraparound, moves up into the circle and up high at the point. Here's Haley working with it. 1:36 remaining on the power play. Is now puck up into the slot, kept in by the Rams. Now a wrister, a shot blockered away. Now right in front, another big save as that would deflect it up. And up at the point, that is Bach. Bach feeds far side to Haley. Haley, wrister, a shot just wide. And now back up to Haley at the point. He walks the line. Now a long wrister deflected, multiple angles, and the Cougars control and dump that down. With 9:28 remaining, 1 minute exactly remaining on the power play for the Rams. They are 0 for 1 tonight. Here's Haley in his own zone up to McCormick. McCormick met at center. Then the Cougars dump that in right in front of me. 48 remaining on the power play. Here is Hoffman. Hoffman moves up the left wing, loses the puck. Moving in on offsides with 9:04 remaining in a scoreless game. Here, 38 remaining on the penalty to Benjamin Clay for hooking. Draw at neutral ice, won by the Cougars, but the Rams will control. Christian bumped off the puck. A big hit right at the line as now McCormick in a race for the puck with Nelson. He loses that. Nelson controls along the half wall, moves up the point, kept in. That will wrap around right in for Bach. Brendan Bach moves it up to McCormick. McCormick has it taken over by Nelson. Nelson, 10 seconds to go on the power play. They'll move that out to center. A Cougar upended right at the line. 5 seconds to go on the power play with 8:27 remaining as Benjamin Clay hops down to the box. Here's Christian. Christian down the left wing. Rifles a shot from the circle. Saved. As now they battle for it in the corner. 2-on-2. That'll come out behind the net of McClellan. Cougars control. They'll play that off the high glass as here is the Cougars walk in. A centering pass off and now a scramble in front. Oh my goodness, that just missed the right side of the post. Oh my goodness, what an opportunity again for the Cougars. As that is 2 times they have hit the post or just nearly hit the post as icing is called on the Rams with 7:53 remaining here in the second period of play. If it wasn't for the post, it'd be 2-0 right now. But draw to the right of Sherman. Off the tie-up, the Cougars control, that's Balk. Balk taken to the boards by Jones, and they battle for that, and they'll come up. Jones has it. He's belted behind the net along the end boards, and here's Smith. Smith, they battle for it with Balk. 2-on-2 along the half wall, right at the hash marks. Baumgartner steps in, then the Cougars control. A pass intercepted by Haley, but the Cougars take over, and Jones will control in his own end. Alex Jones, pressured by Onstadt, moves it out to center, and Weirda will control and dump that in. Here is Smith. Cody Smith gives across to Jones, and he'll move that out to center with the Rams control. 7:08 remaining here in the second period. Here's Haley. Haley down the wing, behind the net, circles around, looking challenged by multiple Cougars as a pass deflected all the way back into the Ram zone. It will be Smith. Smith off the boards. A Cougar Byrne goes down as now a pass intercepted. And now right in front to Byrne. A shot. Big save. And the Cougars can't capitalize once more. Is now a shot wide. as a shot, as a clearing attempt, and the Rams control, and the Rams will dump that down. Stevens to control. Haley belted at center as he now Switzer picks the puck up. He's in on goal. A shot saved by McClelland, and they control. Now they have it up at the point. They work down low. Sparrow, a penalty forthcoming on the Cougars. Now a centering attempt right in front of the Cougars. Touch up. 6:08 remaining. Tripping is the call. And the Rams once again will go on the power play. Their third of the evening. With 6:08 remaining. It's Galen Burnoff. 2 minutes for tripping. Draw will go all the way back into the Cougars' end. 0-0 scoreless tie here in Griffs Ice House in the battle for OK Rue supremacy is the Cougars off the draw here. They come up ice, 2-on-3. They have it down in the left wing. They circle around up to the point, but that's taken. Bulk, a spin around shot will deflect off the high glass, off the very top of the glass, and near side, Parod circles around. He'll move up ice in his own zone, cutting through neutral ice. 5:40 remaining here. As a shot blocked, and Parod almost had a chance there. As now wrap that around. That'll be McCormick. McCormick to play it behind the net. Still has the puck, moves it up to Parod. Dayton Parod down to McCormick at the hash marks. Feeds that down low. Rams have that picked off by the Cougars. 1:09 remaining here in the second period, power play for the Rams. Now a centering pass right in front that laid there for a second. McClelland couldn't control, as now the Cougars will move up ice off the half wall. Here's a 2-on-1. Down the right wing. Cuts in a shot. Scores! That is Danny Nelson! Gets the goal, his 18th of the campaign. And it is 1-0 Cougars with 4:56 remaining. A shorthanded goal. And the Cougars take the lead. That was a great opportunity as Nelson walked down the right wing, reached the circle, and popped it over the glove hand side of Sherman to make it 1-0 with 48 seconds remaining on the power play for the Rams. Haley controls, gives back to Hoffman. Hoffman will move up ice into neutral ice, and he'll dump that down behind McClelland. 36 remaining on the power play for the Rams. That's Switzer taken down. They try to move that up to the point. Here is Hoffman. Hoffman, a wrister just wide. And now that's Sokol. Moves that behind to Baumgartner. Cade Baumgartner works up high to Haley. Haley gives to Hoffman. Back to Haley. Haley, a wrister. Gobbled up by McClelland with 12 seconds remaining on the power play. Draw will come to the right of McClelland. So, to the right of McClelland, Rams win that one. Here's Haley. Haley walks into the slot, a shot blocked wide, and now that'll go to the corner, up along the half wall. They work across to a long wrister. Now the Cougars return to full strength with 4 minutes remaining here. Now Baumgartner right into the slot. A big save. The rebound laid in front for a second, but the Rams couldn't jam away, and that makes its way up to Hoffman at the far point. Down low, that is Baumgartner. Baumgartner taken by the Cougars. 3:41 remaining. They'll dump that in. Bedford couldn't control, and Haley battles for it along the far half wall. He still controls off the glass along the wall just inside the Cougar zone. Hoffman off the boards, taken by the Cougars. Here is Now up the near side. Big hit by Bedford at center. Now that'll be Hoffman. Hoffman, 3:10 remaining here. He controls behind his own net. He'll backhand that out all the way down for icing with 3:01 remaining here in the second period of play. The Cougars leading the Rams by a score of 1-0 off Danny Nelson's 18th of the year. And it will be Schwerking in for the draw with McCormick to the right of Sherman. Won by the Rams. Behind the net, that's Parod. We'll dump that up. Kept in at the point, but I spoke too soon as Golomeski moves it off the boards to McCormick. Jumps around the defense, but the Cougars pick it up. Then we'll move that out to center. 2:45 remaining. McCormick along the far boards. Cougars at center. Well, Rams will spin around and dump that in. Here's Golomeski. Golomeski circles around, moves it up into center, but the Cougars controlling their own zone. 2:27 remaining here in the second period. Cougars leading 1-0. Now, up at the point, McCormick will work into neutral ice. Cross ice to Bach. Couldn't get it as he works down this. Now a centering pass right in front. Oh my goodness, that was directed just high with 2:09 remaining. Now Christian, they move that down behind the net. Weirda belted along the end boards as now that is Schwant. Schwant will move that out into neutral ice where the Cougars take over. Now Jones. Alex Jones will have his pass picked off at center. Cougars taken over by Schwant, and that's Switzer. Battle for it there. Cougars come up with an onslaught. 1:35 remaining here in the second period. Cougars leading 1-0. They battle for that along the far boards. And the Cougars come up with that. Looking for a long wrister was Weirdo, but they taken over as behind the net. That will be Sparrow as he's belted by Onstadt. A Cougar upended. That's Weirda, and they'll dump that in. Cougars controlling their own zone. 1:08 remaining here. Cougars reach the line and dump it in. Behind the net, here's Clay. Benjamin Clay has the... Now, wrister on goal, turned calmly aside by Sherman as the Rams couldn't control. Here's Grabowski. Grabowski taken over by the Rams. Here's Schwant. They battle for it there. Cougars come up with that. Nelson, a centering attempt right in front, taken over by a Ram. Here's Holloman right into the slot. Nelson, a spin around shot that hit the outside of the post. As now Grabowski takes over. He'll dump that down. 30 remaining here in the second period. Cougars leading 1-0 as a big hit by Holloman on Cody Smith near his side. And they'll dump that down behind the net. Here is Jones. Moves that out. We're getting a bit physical. Here's a shot through traffic. Turned aside by Sherman. A spin around clearing attempt by Smith as a Cougar takes a Ram down, and with 6.8 seconds remaining, the Cougars will go on their fourth penalty kill of the afternoon. Rams yet to convert on one. There will be significant carryover time into the third period as Nathan Rubline goes off. 2 minutes. Here with 6.8 remaining in the second. Cougars leading Rams 1-0 off Danny Nelson's 18th of the campaign. Draw to the left of Sherman. Won by the Cougars, but behind the net, it's Switzer. They battle for it right in front. And that will do it for the second period of play. Cougars lead 1-0 after one. So when we come back, we'll have the second intermission report here on Cougar Puck Radio, and then we'll take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard here on Cougar Puck Radio. Reagan Cleaves bringing it back here inside Griffs Ice House at Belknap Park, where after 2 periods of play, the Catholic Central Cougars have a 1-0 lead over the Rockford Rams. Shots in that period, 11-9 in favor of the Cougars, while faceoffs were dead even at 8 apiece. Rockford has gone 0 for 4 on the power play, while the Cougars scored a shorthanded goal, giving them their shorthanded goal from Danny Nelson, giving him his 18th of the campaign. The Cougars still did not receive a power play in that period, so remain at 0 for 1. Penalties in that period. Clay went off for hooking at 10:26. Byrne for the Cougars again went off for tripping at 6:08. And then Nathan Rubline went off for tripping at 7 seconds. There will be 1 minute and 54 seconds of carryover time in the second. Red Wings again won 6-5. Lost 6-5 to the Flyers. And the Griffins tonight will face off against the San Antonio Rampage. Last night they won with Jared Coro in net for the Rampage. The Griffins alumni won the 2017 Calder Cup with the Griffins. And this is the only game going on tonight, is Cougars and Rams here for any Catholic Central sporting event. So that will just about do it for the second intermission report. When we come back, we'll have all the action of the third period and overtime if needed here on Cougar Puck Radio. Welcome back, Radio Rinkside, here inside Griffs Ice House, where the Cougars lead the Rockford Rams after 2 by a score of 1-0. Cougars will start on the penalty kill. 1:54 remaining of the tripping call on Nathan Rubline, with 6.9 remaining in that second period. McClellan will be in net right to my left, while Sherman will be in net all the way down on the other side of the rink for the Rams. Cougars will go up your radio dial, while the Rams will come down. Cougars wearing blue jerseys, white shoulders, yellow and white trim, while the Rams will wear white jerseys wearing with black and orange trim. 17 minutes on the clock. Players ready. Referees ready. And we are underway here in the third period of play as a shot right on goal. Sherman had to be alert to turn that one aside, as now that'll be Cade Baumgartner up the wing. That will be Hoffman. Moves that back into his own zone. 16:41 remaining. Hoffman will cut through neutral ice, give cross ice. Here the Rams come. Now a shot on goal up high, covered by McClellan. That shot came courtesy of Kevin Haley. Rockford playing their last home game of the season, I believe. Now it'll be Danny Nelson in for the draw with Baumgartner, and it's one up to the point. Rams control there. Up to the point to Hoffman. Hoffman, a long wrister. Beautiful glove save there by McClellan with 1:17 remaining on the penalty to Nathan Rubline. Off that save, draw will come to the right of McClellan. Onstadt and Kyle Switzer in for the draw. Won by Onstadt. Here's Patterson who'll wrap that down. Up to the point where the Rams control, taken over by Hoffman. Hoffman will retreat into his own zone. 16:11 remaining here in the third period of play. Cougars and Rams here at Griffs Ice House. Cougars leading 1-0. Now behind the net, a Cougar upended. Penalty forthcoming with 51 remaining on the Rubline penalty. Cougars will have 1 minute and 9 seconds of power play once the Rubline penalty expires. That is Aiden Hoffman going off for the Rams, giving us 4-on-4 for the next 51 seconds. So draw to the right of Sherman, won by the Rams. 4-on-4 hockey for the next 47. Here's McCormick. Cross-checking the call on Aiden Hoffman. Now near side in the corner. Stevens takes a dump, and now it's poked away, and McClellan will cover off the attempt by Bach from right along the side of the net. Aiden Hoffman getting the penalty for the Rams there, giving us 4-on-4. 33 remaining in the 4-on-4. Draw won by the Rams. They have it up. Jones will dump that down. Here's Bach behind the net, behind McClellan. He wraps that around and he scores! Brendan Bach gets the 4-on-4 goal to tie up the game with 15:30 remaining. He wrapped it around McClellan, forced McClellan to open up as he slid across from his left to right, and he slid it through the 5-hole, and it is 1-1. Draw will come to center, still 4-on-4 hockey. We have an issue with the clock. Cougars still on They, for some reason, took the Cougars penalty off, but it is noticed by the referee, and he goes over to talk to the scorers. That goal by Brendan Bach is his 13th of the campaign, giving him 21 points on the year. This, as expected, is a tight one, as a win for the Rams would put them up 2 points. However, the Cougars do have a game in hand and expect to win both of their games. So this game is crucial in the standings. Still working out the penalty clock across the way. So the draw at center, it'll be Onstadt for the Cougars with 15:30. 23 remaining on the 4-on-4. Taken over by Haley, who has it taken over by Nelson. He works up wing, fires a shot off the right pad of Sherman. And now Cougars still have it. They dump that off the boards, but Haley picks it up. He cuts through neutral ice, down over to Baumgartner. Baumgartner right in front. Haley got the shot on goal off the pass from Baumgartner. And it remains 1-1 as McClellan covers for a whistle. So off that save, the draw will come to the right of the left of McClellan. It will be Onstadt and Switzer in for the draw. One up to the point, a long shot on goal, but it is well wide as Nelson picks up the puck. He's working cross ice pass to Jake Onstadt. Onstadt down the right wing, cuts into the circle, loses the puck, but regains control down low. Taken to the boards by Jones. Now makes its way up to the point. Here's Nelson. Nelson feeds down low. Here's Onstadt, a backhander on goal, just wide. Now up at the point, down in the circle, kept in at the point by the Cougars, as that will go all the way down into the Cougars' end. 14:25 remaining. Cougars on the power play here. 25 remaining on the penalty to Hoffman. Now Swerking feeds that up high. Up at the point, Golembeski loses that one and Bulk controls at center. Oh, fire a long-range shot in on Sherman. And now they battle for that along the half wall in the Ram zone. 6 seconds remaining on the penalty as they battle for that down behind the net. Rams come out with the puck. Rams back to full strength. Here is number 9, Sokol. Sokol in, big save by McClellan. Sokol had the opportunity of a lifetime here on senior night for Rockford as he got a long stretch pass from all the way back in the Rockford zone. And he walked in on McClellan, put a relatively easy shot in, and it was covered for a whistle. Drawn to the left of McClellan, Schwerking and Baumgartner in off the tie-up. Sokol backhands a pass on goal. Baumgartner behind the net. Battles for it there, 2-on-2. Baumgartner comes up with the puck. Has it poked away though, Sokol. Sokol moves it down to Baumgartner. Baumgartner down low, up ends Schwerking. Now Haley. Haley spin arounds a shot. Turned aside by the stick of McClellan. Cougars control. Battle for it along the half wall. Haley works it at the hash marks. Has the puck poked away in Holloman. Again has the puck. Here's Sokol. Sokol can't get around the defense. He's crunched by Patterson as the pass is picked off by the Cougars, and they're up the other way. Here's Nelson. Nelson fires a shot. Saved by Sherman. And they battle for that down low behind the net. That makes its way to the corner and up to the point. Off the boards. Behind the net. Rams pick that up. Off the boards. They clear that to center with the Cougars control. 12:43 remaining here in the third. Tied 1-1 here at Griffs Ice House between the Rams and the Cougars. Now Onstadt walks down, fires a shot just wide. And that will go up and out of play with 12:32 remaining here in this crucial game for both teams. It'll be McCormick and Onstadt in for the draw. Won by Onstadt. Golombeski feeds that down low. Onstadt controls. He spin around pass behind the net. That Onstadt taken to the boards. Backhanded into the corner behind the net. 12-18 remaining here in a tie game. Here halfway, about 5 minutes into the third period, as behind the net. Penalty fourth coming to the Cougars. Cross-checking is the call, and the Rams will go on yet another power play. Cross-checking is the call. On Ben Clay. Ben Clay racking up some penalty minutes tonight. This is his third trip to the box, accounting for 6 penalty minutes. As Nelson to the right of McClellan, won by the Rams. They'll move that up to the point. Here's Haley. Haley works the line, gives over to Hoffman. Down low, back up to Hoffman. Hoffman, a long wrister. That deflected just narrowly wide. As now Weirda taken to the boards, and Hull clearing attempt kept in by Hoffman. Hull works that down low to Switzer. Switzer down to Baumgartner. Baumgartner centering pass couldn't be controlled by Sokol. Again, it's kept in at the point by Hoffman. Sokol loses the puck, and the Rams will regroup at center. 1:27 remaining on the power play. They'll wrap that down low. Here's Baumgartner. Baumgartner taken to the boards. They battle for it. They're right in front of me. Switzer and Baumgartner with Patterson and Nelson still battling for it there. Nelson comes out with the puck, but he's taken to the boards by Switzer once more. They battle for it there. That puck comes out to Switzer. Switzer taken down. He battles for it there with Patterson. Now moves up to the point. Haley couldn't control, and that'll go all the way out. And the Cougars might have a chance shorthanded, but the puck falls into Rockford hands, and here's Sokol. Sokol, a wrist shot blocked, and now a second opportunity. Walks in front, and they score! That's Dan Sokol walked around the defense. McClellan went down, and he put it past the outstretched pad, and with 41 seconds remaining on the power play, the Rams scored 2 unanswered goals to make it 2-1. .46 remaining here in the third period of play in this battle for OK Rue supremacy. It'll be Onstadt in for the draw at center, won by him. We'll dump that down. Rams, however, forfeit control. Dan Sokol getting the unassisted power play goal as a hit up high on a Rams defenseman as the Cougars move it down low behind the net. They work it up at the point. Now there's a shot blocked in front and right in the slot. A second opportunity laid there in front of the net, but the Rams control along the near half wall. Battle for it there, works its way up to Golombeski. Golombeski had a pass pop out, and here come the Rams the other way, 3-on-2. Here's a shot turned aside. That came courtesy of Bach. And now they move it up. Bedford had to control at center and whip that in. Nelson. Pass picked off by Bedford. Bedford will chip that high off the backhand glass that is on the back of the net. They try to fish that out, but the whistle is blown. Draw will go out to center ice with 9:40 remaining. Cougars conceding 2 back-to-back goals for the Rams to see them down by a score of 2-1. It will be Schwerking in for the draw in the neutral ice dot of the Cougars. Won by Baumgartner. They go to the boards. That makes its way out to center. Here is Sokol. Dan Sokol already has a goal tonight. That is his 17th of the or his 18th of the year. Now, here is Hogan Weirda. Moves it up the boards to Rollins, who's bumped off the puck. Baumgartner back to play it. That'll move into the Cougars zone. Too many men on the ice should have been called. Here's Haley working in on McClellan. A big save. He put it just wide. Now a centering attempt taken by Schwerking. They'll clear that out to center ice. 9 minutes remaining. Rams dump that in. No icing there. Here is Hogan Weirda. We'll move that up the ice. At center, Rams control. Jones knocked off the puck. Here's Schwerking. Big hit as the Rams control. They couldn't fish that out, though. Now, near side, Cougars control. They'll dump that down. Behind the net, the Rams control. Up to center. That'll be Golombeski retreating into his own zone. 8:30 remaining. Here in a close one, Rams and Cougars 2-1. Rams lead. Behind the net, here's Jones. Jones working in along the corner. Down the ice. Now, that makes its way up and out of play with 8:09 remaining here. Cougars and Rams here in a close game, 2-1. Rams just recently going up off a goal by Dan Sokol. His 18th of the campaign makes it 2-1. 8:09 remaining here. Drawn on the left of Sherman. One, here's Stevens, a one-timer. That flickered wide as now Golombeski moves it down right into the slot. Here's Clay. A shot glove down nicely by Sherman with 7:59 remaining here in the third period of play. Cougars trail the Rockford Rams by a score of 2-1. Nelson made his way onto the ice before getting called back by the referees. On stunt, called out, and it'll be Benjamin Clay in. Draw one by the Cougars, a sharp angle shot. That was turned aside, and that'll make its way to Dakin. Dakin taken over on the near boards as the Cougars have a chance. Up the point, not kept in, and it's a race for the puck. Down the boards, here's Clay. Off the boards, near side, here's Dakin. Hunter Dakin takes Stevens' gloves off. Takes his glove off, as now here is Schwant. Schwant up at the point, a wrister blocked. Here it makes its way. There's a shot deflected wide. That came courtesy of Switzer. Big hit by Stevens, who is still without a glove. Stevens along the near side. We'll dump that out. Still battling for it there. As now Onstott rifles a shot right on goal. A rebound. As that shot is cleared well high of the glass by the Rams. With 7:04 remaining here. Cougars trail 2-1. Shots in this period are 10-5 in favor of the Rams. 7:04 remaining. Draw will come to the left of Sherman. Referees consulting. It'll be Schwerking in for the draw for the Cougars. If we have one eventually, is the referees consulting. Might be about the time. I don't know, but anyway, the draw is won by the Rams, but now Grabowski, a shot deflected, and here come the Rams. Bach taken to the boards hard by a Cougar as the Rams control in their own end. 6:48 remaining. They'll dump that down. No icing as it was tipped. Patterson going with his counterpart, McCormick. That makes its way up to the point. Not kept in, and here come the Cougars. They'll chip that into the corner. Spin around shot. That moves up. Now a one-timer from the point, sticked aside by Sherman. He's played pretty well tonight. The only goal was a 2-on-1 by Danny Nelson, his 18th of the year. Give the Cougars the go-ahead goal. The only goal in that second is now puck played up high off the boards. That's Perrod to wrap that around. In the circle, they control. Down behind the net, Perrod. Perrod moves that up, taken over by Golombeski. However, 5:53 remaining. Near side, Stevens moves that out. Holloman over to Schwerking. Taken over to the boards. They move that down behind the net. Here is, moves it up to the point to Golombeski. A long wrister deflected wide, and the Rams pick up the puck. Can't be muscled off. The puck is now Parad controls. He'll dump that off the boards. And here's Bob. Here's as a big save by McClellan. That was number 6, Cade Baumgartner, who picked up the puck, got behind the defense, raced in on goal, and put it off the blocker of McClellan, and it went up and out of play. With 5:22 remaining. Draw to the left of McClellan, won by the Rams. However, it's taken over by the Cougars. Here's Onstadt. Moves up the wing. Here's Balk. Balk taken over. Nelson goes down. No call. Now a centering attempt. Here come the Rams the other way. Here is Haley. Rams dump that in. McClellan out of his net to play it. Here's Patterson. Kevin Patterson moves to Weirda. Weirda will chip it out to center, but Sokol will control to the far side in their own zone. 4:50 remaining here. Pair of players collide at center. Patterson back to play with Baumgartner. Baumgartner has the had the chance just recently. Is now Haley. Haley taken over by Ben Clay. Spin around backhand pass. Onstadt will go to the corner, taken down, no call. Cougars bench not happy about that. As now the Rams move up the other way. Ram taken down at center. This is getting quite physical as Grabowski dumps it down. Taken hard and high. Again, no call. 4:08 remaining here. 2-1. Rams lead as a pass almost was picked off at center. Now Golombeski. Here's Nelson. Nelson tries to get around the defense and is successful in doing so, but he circles around in the offensive zone, moves it up. Here, a long wrister shot that popped up in the air, and that's moved out. Now another sharp angle shot laid in front. Here come the Rams. They're cutting through neutral ice. That is Schwitzer. Schwitzer going hard with Stevens up. Sticks flying. Referee covers his face. Is now a wraparound attempt. Here they come, and now a centering pass that will go all the way down. No icing there. That was Tommy Schwann who made that inaccurate pass, and the Rams will rep that all the way down far enough for icing with 3:15 remaining here in the third period of play. Cougars and Rams 2-1 in favor of Rockford. So the draw off that icing will go to the right of Sherman. Onstadt in for the draw for the Cougars, and he controls up to the point. Now a long wrister turned aside. That is up and out of play. Draw once more will come to the right of Sherman. Sherman has faced $18 shots tonight. Now off the draw, Cougars are able to keep that in at the point. As a backhanded attempt, staved off by McCormick, and they work it down. Here's Haley, has puck knocked away, but by Onstadt. Onstadt moves it up to center. Off the boards, Christian. Battle for it there, 2:44 remaining. Cougars as a one-timer from the point, blockered away by Sherman. 2:37 remaining here in the third period of play. Cougars and Rams 2-1. Rams lead. Cougars moving up your radio dial here late in this third. As a long shot from the point by Weirda. That's blockered away, and that'll move out up to the point. Unable to be kept in, and Bulk will try to move that down. Again, Cougars control. They'll dump that all the way down. 2:09 remaining. Rams have been fairly confident as here's Holloman. Holloman loses an edge, and he goes down into the boards in the corner across the way. McClelland looking at the bench for when to go. 1:52 remaining. Rams will clear that all the way down. Icing is imminent, and it will be called with 1:45 remaining. Cougars need to get something going here, as whoever wins this game will move into third place, or move into first place in the OK Rue, as currently they are tied. Timeout is called by the Cougars, so we'll take a break here on Cougar Puck Radio. Reagan Cleaves bringing you back live here in Griffs Ice House, where the Rockford Rams currently lead your Catholic Central Cougars by a score of 2-1 off a goal by Dan Sokol. Draw off that timeout will come to the right of Sherman. 1:45, excuse me. Draw one by the Cougars. They battle for that in the corner. Seconds ticking away. McClelland has vacated the net. That will go all the way down the ice. No icing here as Nelson back to play it. Holds up behind the net. 1:26 remaining here. Cougars trail by a score of 2-1. Long stretch pass catches Clay. Clay centering attempt. One-timer. Now right in front. Oh my goodness, a chance there. But it was blocked away. Now up to the point. Weirda will wrap that down. Cougars battle for it there, 1:05. Kept into the point by Weirda. A one-time shot. That was deflected wide. 58 remaining here. Up to the point to Weirda. Weirda fires a shot. That just went wide. Is a diving attempt. That will move out to center ice for the Rams. Cougars control. That's Nelson. Nelson pressured by Haley. That popped out across the line. Cougars have to get something going here. Here's working. 36 seconds remaining. He moves that down, dumps it down behind Sherman. That will be Hoffman. Taking the boards. Moves up to the point. Here's Weirda, a shot. That laid in front for a second. They jam away at it in front. And that's kept out by Sherman. With 20.8 seconds remaining, Cougars trail 2-1. Just had a golden opportunity. Yes, 28 seconds remaining here. Both benches standing, making line changes as the Cougars, whoever wins this game, I mentioned earlier, captures the OK Rue, or captures the lead in the OK Rue Conference. Draw to the right of Sherman, won by the Rams. Behind the net, 17 seconds remaining. 15 as they work away in the corner, seconds ticking off. Now Rams control. There's 7 seconds to go. Here is Baumgartner. Baumgartner leaves to McCormick. Back, missed the shot, and that will do it for the game as the Catholic Central Cougars fall to the Rockford Rams by a score of 2-1. When we come back, we will bring you A recap of the game's action and a final look at the out-of-town scoreboard here on Cougar Puck Radio. We bring you back Radio Ringside here inside Griffs Ice House at Belknap Park, where the Catholic Central Cougars fall to the Rockford Rams by a score of 2-1. Now we'll take a look at the game recap here. Through the first period, it was scoreless. The Cougars came out in the second, scored one, and then the Rockford answered with two of their own in the third to make the final score by 2-1. Shots in that game favored the Catholic Central Cougars by a tally of 27-25. Catholic Central won 55 out of 28 faceoffs on the game, while Rockford won 27. Power play, Catholic Central went 0 for 2, while Rockford went 1 for 4. Goal summary, Cougars came out. Danny Nelson scored the first goal of the game for either side, unassisted, to put the Cougars up 1-0. Then Bach scored on a wraparound from McCormick and Jones, tying up the game at 1 apiece. Then Sokol made the game 2-1 to cap off senior night for the Rams. Penalties. Perraud went off 2 minutes for hooking in the first, followed by Clay in the first, 2 minutes for holding. Then Clay went off once more, 2 minutes for hooking. And then Byrne followed him, 2 minutes for tripping. Those last two came in the second. Nathan Rubline, again in the second at 7 seconds, got a tripping penalty with 7 seconds remaining. And then in the third, Hoffman went off for the Rams for cross-checking, and Clay followed him with at 12:05 for cross-checking as well. It was on that 4-on-4 that the Rams managed to capitalize and put the game on their side of the scale for the first time tonight. McClelland made 23 saves on the night. The two of them that didn't go by him were the wraparound and the breakaway goal for Rockford. Well, Zach Sherman made 26 saves in his 13th win of the season. The Cougars right now because of that, fall to 12-9-1, while the Rockford Rams climb to 15-6-1. Rams, after that win, will climb into first place with 16 points on the year, and that will give them the lead in the OK Rue division. We'll take Red Wings, as I said earlier, lost to the Philadelphia Flyers by a score of 6-5, and the Griffins are just now getting underway at Van Andel Arena against the San Antonio Rampage. You can check that game out once we wrap up here on Wood Radio 1300 106.9 FM. Then you can listen to Bob Kaiser as he brings you all the action of that division matchup for the Griffins. Well, that will just about do it for us tonight. And this Wednesday, the Cougars will return to Southside Ice Arena to play host to the Reese Puffer Rockets. Unfortunately, we will not be able to broadcast that game, but be sure to check out Cougars Rewind for a recap of that game. Until then, my name is Reagan Cleaves from Griffs Ice House at Belknap Park as the Cougars fall to the Rockford Rams by a final score of 2-1. Thank you for listening. Have a great night, everybody.